The following is a presentation of PH Athletics. We welcome you to Pascack Hills High School in Montvale, where Tenafly takes on the Broncos in baseball, the home opener for Pascack Hills in 2025. Joe Napolitano on the mound. The first batter he's facing off against is Joe Kogan, and Kogan fouls one off. We missed a couple pitches. I was expecting an anthem, but they caught me off guard, so I believe, and this is very much unconfirmed, the count is 1-2 for Kogan. Last year had a 200 average, was 2 for 10 in some sparing appearances, 4 RBIs, and had 1 extra base hit, a double. Napolitano last year as a sophomore, the second most worked of the Hills pitchers, and had the best ERA, a 1.5 ERA for Napolitano last year. And now beginning his junior season in earnest, he's thrown just 4 pitches so far and allowed 1 hit in those 4 pitches. It's Kogan with a unconfirmed 2-2 count, and that one fouled off, it looked like. I'm Matthew Merlino here in the outfield. Let's try and get you the Hills starters. The pitcher, as we said, Joe Napolitano. He is joined by junior teammate and catcher Jake Zabo behind the plate. The infield, manned by the senior Anthony Blackford at first, Emerson Cho, the junior, at second, Kyle Wankus at short, another junior, and one more junior at third, Gavin O'Donnell. The outfield from left to right, junior Kyle Marquise wearing number 6 today, senior in center field, Eddie Mulligan wearing 13, as we have a 3-2 count. And in right, it is the junior John G. Antonio. Hills 0-2 so far this season. They lost, as the wind picking up here, I'm sure as you can hear. They lost to Northern Highlands in a game that we were fortunate enough to cover. 11-5 the final there, as it will be Kogan sitting down. Strikeout for Napolitano to get things started, and now he will face the shortstop Raman Mitta, another senior. And Mitta, in the 2 games Tenafly has played, 2 for 6 with 2 singles, one of which he came home later on. That pitch right down the middle for a strike from Napolitano, and we have an 0-1 count. You're going to miss a little bit of the action. Unfortunately, no cameraman today, and in order to get above the fence here where we're set up in the outfield, we have to put the handle out of my reach, so you'll see most of the infield, but the outfields, unless it's right in front of us, I'll try and describe as best I can to you, but we apologize for that. It is a windy day here in Montvale, as the 1-1 comes from Napolitano. It's a ground ball. O'Donnell coming in. He's going to be able to make the play. Low throw, but they got him anyway. Blackford with the scoop off the ground to put 2 away early for Tenafly. And now that'll bring up the third batter in the lineup, the junior, and Tenafly's first baseman today, Dylan Pow Miller, who is 1 for 6 so far this year, has 1 RBI on a double. That was his only hit. But last year, a very good player. Average .293, was 17 for 58, and had 14 runs batted in second for the Tigers. Second pitch from Napolitano over the plate. We have a 1-1 count here. Looking to get a 1-2-3 inning to start things off, as a 2-1 count now. Hills led by Coach Nick Evans once again this season and his venerable staff, as the 2-1 from Napolitano is fouled off. As we said, 2 losses for Hills, 11-5. against Northern Highlands in Allendale, although Hills was the listed home team for that, so they batted last. And then the day after, they went to St. Joe's up in Montvale, a true road game, ended up losing 12-2. Fourth innings have not been kind so far this season for the Broncos. They've pretty much lost both of those games in said fourth innings. 3-2 the count here for Joe Napolitano. He is facing for Tenafly Dylan Powell Miller, and Napolitano looks for a 1-2-3 inning to start things off in the home opener for Pascack Hills baseball in 2025. Let's see, full count, the payoff pitch. Fly ball, could be a base hit, but John Giantonio makes the catch, had a leg up on it, and sends us to the dugout with no score in the middle of the first. Walk-up songs are back, and we are as well ready to begin the bottom of the second inning. First batting for Hills at home this season. And they will be led off by Kyle Wankus with Kyle Marquise, the junior, and Emerson Cho also due up. The pitcher for Tenafly, by our records, making his varsity debut, is Sam Cohn. And he throws a ball to start his part of the game on the mound. His catcher, a freshman, Chase Bloom. At first, Dylan Powell Miller, as we said, as Cohn readies for pitch number 2. It's fouled off by Wankus. At second, Luca Blancato. At short, Raman Mitta. At third, Eli Nanis. And in left, Joe Kogan. In center, Troy Knaus. And in right, Jared Hollander. 1-1 to Wankus. Curveball in there, 1-2. Tenafly with a good start to this season after going 9-16 last year. They opened up with a 2-game series against Teaneck. They lost the opener on the road 10-0, but then came back and scored a 5-1 win as we get a high fly ball that will go foul for Wankus here, and we stay at a 1-2 count. So the Tigers 1-1, both overall and in league play. They are tied for the middle of the Big North National standings after coming dead last year with a 1-9 league record. And as for Hills in their league, the Big North Patriot, they have not played a league game yet, but will have coverage of one of their first home one at least, against Riverdale next Wednesday. Ground ball getting through for Wankus. It'll go to Kogan all the way on the line, and it'll be a double for Kyle Wankus to open things up. And so from Kyle the Junior to Kyle the Junior, it is Kyle Marquise coming up. That's Wankus' second double of the season. And Marquise so far this season, 2 for 6 with 2 singles and 1 RBI. We'll see if he can get a big hit here to drive in Wankus and get Hills off to a flying start. First pitch to Marquise, another high fly ball out to Kogan. It's going to be foul. And so Cone readies for the 0-1. Dribbler in the infield, picked up by the catcher. And it looks like the umpire will call it foul. Bloom making the pickup on that one, and we have an 0-2 count for Marquise. On deck, Emerson Cho. After him, Anthony Blackford. Kyle Wankus waiting for the opportunity to run home from second base. winds are picking up. It is a nice day here in Montvale. A little cloudy, but the sun coming out to my back. And looking towards home plate, the sun. That one outside from cone to make it 1-2. But it is still a little cold. We're in the high 70s with a few strong winds blowing in from the outfield. Here's the 1-2 to Marquise. Outside once again. So now an even count, 2-2. Cone dealing, fouled off. Here's the 2-2, part 2, ground ball. Wenkes is advancing. They're going to try and get Marquise out at first, and they won't. Play not made by the first baseman, Pal Miller. The throw from Raman Mitta. And we now have runners on the corners to start things off for Hills. A double for Wenkes and a single for Marquise. His third hit of the season, and now it will be Emerson Cho to come up, leading Hills in batting average. 4 for 6 so far with 2 RBIs as well. That puts him even with AB on RBIs. Emerson Cho with runners on the corners and no outs. Marquise going. And the catcher dropped it, Bloom, the freshman, allowing Marquise to get to second easily. So now 2 runners in scoring position for Cho and a 1-0 count for the junior. Cho grounds one to the shortstop. Wenkes will get home, and the throw is outside. Pal Miller had to come off the bag, so we have a 2-0 Hills lead because Marquise was able to score as well. And there's nobody out. Perhaps the start Hills was looking for, the best start they were looking for. As there's nobody out, they're up 2-0. And now the cleanup hitter, Anthony Blackford, comes on with Emerson Cho on first. Blackford grounds one foul. So it's an 0-1 count for the senior as Cho goes. And they're going to call a hit by pitch for AB. So Cho would have gotten there anyway, and there's runners on first and second for now Corey Ginsberg, the designated hitter. Ginsberg with Cho on second and Blackford on first. Hits one. That will drop a base hit to Kogan. And all runners will advance. So the bases are loaded now for the junior Gavin O'Donnell. And a big opportunity for O'Donnell, the junior, who has no RBIs yet this season. He has 1 hit. He's 1 for 5. O'Donnell the Jr., his third varsity appearance. And it'll be a ball to start his first at-bat of this game. He's the sixth batter in the Hills lineup. The three after him, John Giantonio, Jake Zabo, and the pitcher, Joe Napolitano. High fly ball to center for O'Donnell. It will not drop, but Cho will tag, and he will score. The catch made by the center fielder, Troy Knaus, to put O'Donnell away. Cho still able to come home, and we have a 3-0 Pascack Hills lead. Runners on first and second now for Giantonio. Swings and misses at strike one. It's Blackford on second and Ginsburg at first, two seniors. And Ginsburg DHing today for Eddie Mulligan, the center fielder. Pitch looks like was in there. So an 0-2 count. And there's a ground ball getting through. A base hit for Giantonio. Blackford will stay, but all runners advance. And we have the bases loaded once again. Now for the catcher, Jake Zabo. And Zabo has no RBIs so far this year. And last year had just 2. Went 8 for 17 last year. This year, as we get a catcher timeout, this year he is 0 for 5 so far. We'll see what he can do from the plate when we come back, which will be right now. Mound meeting over. It was just the catcher, Chase Bloom, talking with his pitcher, Sam Cohn, who has not had a good go of things so far with the 3-0 Hills lead and just 1 out. He's allowed 7 hits. Ball in the dirt for Cone. The cheers you may hear are from the JV softball game happening to our right. They're taking on Westwood, a team which the varsity softball team beat yesterday, a 9-0 win. Their first league win in their first league game. Ground ball to second, looking for 2. Won't get 2, but they do get 1. And Ginsburg's going to come home after Blackford. Another errant throw to Pal Miller that he could not haul in. And we have a 5-0 Hills advantage. 2 away. Runner on first will be pinch ran for. Zabo coming out. Try to see who it is. Can't get the number just yet. But there is a man on first for the final batter in the Hills lineup, their pitcher, Joe Napolitano. 2 away in the bottom of the first. High 1 for Napolitano. 1-0 count. Wind again blowing in towards home plate. And Napolitano swings and misses. Throw to second is not in time. And the runner looks like Noah Lefkowitz advancing. Check that. It is Lefkowitz, the senior. We have a 1-1 count for Napolitano here. Curveball, looks like it was in there. A 1-2 count for Napolitano, and Cone desperately trying to get a run back to the dugout here. And after the start he's had, we expect Coach Andy Escala to potentially have some sort of chat with him and some sort of thought. As Napolitano grounds to third, throw to first is there and in time. A good one from Eli Nannis. And we end the first inning with a 5-0 Pascack Hills advantage. Back to begin the second inning, one that was a 1-2-3 inning for Pascack Hills pitcher Joe Napolitano. He will now face the fourth batter in the Tenafly lineup, Troy Knaus, their center fielder. Knaus last year 7 for 31 as Napolitano pitches a strike. He is a junior. That one a little too low. And that one just a bit outside, 2-1. Swing and a miss for Knaus. And we have a even count, 2-2. High fly ball. Looks like it'll be foul. It is. Starting to get a little colder here in Montvale. Sun's gone away. It is cloudy. Still enjoyable. Not the 40s and 50s weather we had in Allendale a few days ago. Ground ball picked up by Napolitano. Makes the play to Blackford, and there's one away. And now we'll have the right fielder, Jared Hollander, come to the plate, another junior for the Tigers. Hollander 3 for 6 so far this season. Obviously a small sample size, has just 3 singles and is first of the regular batters for Tenafly. There is one who is 1 for 1, that is Mateo Cuevas, a freshman. Nice pitch for Napolitano, strike 1. Second pitch in there as well. Hollander just 3 for 7 last year as a sophomore, making some more appearances as a junior on this Tenafly squad. Napolitano tried to get him on the inside edge. 1-2. That one got him. And we have 2 away early for Joe Napolitano in the second inning. And now it'll be Eli Nannis, the sophomore who plays third base, coming to the plate. He is 0 for 5, but does have a sac fly to his name. So 1 RBI for Nannis. Swings and misses at strike 1. Sorry, 0-2, missed a pitch. Perhaps. Ground ball. Wank is trying to come over. He'll pick it up, make the throw. Blackford has to jump, and it will be a error, it looks like. And now Joe DeGlomini, the designated hitter, comes to the plate. He's DHing today for Sam Cohn, the pitcher. High ball for Napolitano against DeGlomini. Here's the 1-0. Another high ball, this one outside as well, 2-0. Pickoff attempt, not in time. And Nannis got back. The 2-0 from Napolitano. In the dirt. That one, ball 4. So DeGlomini advances and gets on. And Nannis goes to second. 2 out, 2 on. Top of the second. Up comes Chase Bloom, the catcher. Freshman batting 8th. And we don't have any stats on him. But we have a ball and a timeout here for Coach Nick Evans after a few wild pitches from his ace Napolitano. We'll take a break. Quick chat. And so Napolitano is ready once again. 1-0 count to Chase Bloom, the freshman catcher. That one in there, 1-1. One outside, 2-1 now the count. That one in there, 2-2, and Napolitano looking for the third out and to send Hills back to the dugout. 2-2 from Napolitano, swing and a miss from Bloom, and we go to the middle of the second. They strand 2 runners, and it's a 5-0 Pascack Hills lead, still over Tenafly. Wind continuing to pick up here in Montvale as we begin the bottom of the second inning. All 9 Hills batters got a chance at the plate in the first, so now we begin the second with the leadoff man Kyle Wenkus once again, who had a double to start things off. And the pitcher still for Tenafly is Sam Cohn. Some action in the bullpen here for Hills with the junior Gavin O'Donnell warming up as Cohn pitches a low ball to start the bottom of the second. Wenkus has 2 doubles this season, including one earlier today, and will take strike 1. Wenkes hits a high fly ball. It's got a chance. It's going to stop just before the wall, and a nice catch made by Troy Knaus just to our right. Great catch from the junior center fielder, coming all the way over into left and getting the first out of the inning. So now it will be Kyle Marquez up to bat, the left fielder who has a single so far. That one a little low. 1-0 now the count. One-0 to Marquez, a ground ball. Trapped by the first baseman, and he runs over. Another good out from Dylan Powell Miller. And 2 up, 2 down for Sam Cohn and the Tenafly Tiger defense. So now it will be Emerson Cho. And the wind continuing to pick up. Now it's blowing more towards right field, excuse me. Nice curveball, strike one. Another curve in there for a strike, lower than the first one. And quickly 0-2, Cone with a great performance this second inning after giving up 5 runs and about 7 hits in the first. Low ball, so we have a 1-2 count. And O'Donnell making his way back from the bullpen. Cole Miller, the junior, is the bullpen catcher. High fly ball, and this one closer to right where the catch is made. 3 up, 3 down. A good catch from the junior Jared Hollander, and that will end the second inning. A great performance from the Tenafly defense, but it is still 5-0 for Pascack Hills at the end of 2. We do have a pitching change here for Pascack Hills after 2 no-hit innings. Joe Napolitano coming off the mound for the junior Gavin O'Donnell, who's thrown 25 pitches in his varsity career. No strikeouts, 2 earned runs, has a 21.00 ERA. And now he'll face some action here against Tenafly in top of the third. That means there's been some changes to the fielders for Hills as a bunt here for Tenafly goes down the third base line. O'Donnell coming over, throw not in time. And so O'Donnell is on the mound. Jake Zabos still catching. AB and Emerson Cho still at first and second, respectively. Kyle Marquez comes in from the outfield to shortstop, and that moves Kyle Wenkes over to third to replace Gavin O'Donnell. Replacing Marquez in left is Noah Lefkowitz, the senior. Center and right still unchanged with Mulligan and Giantonio occupying those positions. 1-0 count here for O'Donnell after a high ball. Napolitano taking a rest in the dugout, it looks like. They're going to save him. Pickoff move for O'Donnell, not in time. This, if I'm not mistaken, is the second baseman Luca Blancato, And he has a 1-1 count now. Bunts high and foul. The runner was going anyway. That is Blancato, so it would stand to reason that the batter now is Joe Kogan, the leadoff man. Blancato is at first. 1-2 count after the foul bunt. And O'Donnell looking for his first strikeout of his varsity pitching career. We'll see if he can get it here. It's a high ball to make it 2-2. Szabo readying for Blancato to go, but did not make the throw. It was another high ball for O'Donnell. And it's a 3-2 count. Runner going. Szabo will let him go. It's a walk anyway. And so there are 2 men on to begin the top of the third for Tenafly. And that brings up number 2 in their lineup, the shortstop Raman Mitta, who's 0 for 1 so far today. And that one looked like a high ball from O'Donnell as he tried the curve. Swing and a miss. A high fly ball foul. We have a 1-2 count here for Mitta. Low for O'Donnell, 2-2. Man on second is Luca Blancato, number 17, the second baseman. Joe Kogan, the left fielder, on first. Sun coming through the clouds to brighten us up a little bit, but not much in the way of sunlight or sunshine. 3-2 now the count, and as I say that, the sun begins to come out in earnest. Full count for Mitta. O'Donnell deals. Ground ball to Cho, slides, throws to second, and it's in time. There's runners on the corners and 1 away as Kogan will sit. And up comes the third batter in the lineup, the first baseman, Dylan Powell Miller. Ground ball, a bouncer towards Cho again. He'll throw to second. They get 1. They won't get 2. And Tenafly does score. It is Blancato coming home. We have a 5-1 ball game. Runner just on first. That is Powell Miller. 2 away, and now the cleanup hitter Troy Knaus to the plate. First pitch, a ball. Second one in the dirt for ball 2. That one in there, 2-1, now the count. The 2-1 runner going. Wenkes there. He's going to make the throw to AB, and it is in time and on point. We go to the middle of the third, a 5-1 ball game. Tenafly does get on the board. It was a 1-2-3 second inning for Sam Cohn and Tenafly. And now we go to the bottom of the third. Anthony Blackford getting things started. A ball thrown by Cohn on the mound for his third straight inning. Some more action in the Hills bullpen after Gavin O'Donnell came in for Joe Napolitano last inning. John Giantonio, the junior, now in there as well. And if he were to come in, it'd be his first varsity pitching appearance. Foul ball from Blackford, 1-1, now the count. Ground ball, another foul one down the third baseline for Blackford here, and we have a 1-2 count for the senior. Committed to UMBC, the University of Maryland in Baltimore County. The 1-2 from Cohn. Outside. Two and two. Blackford swings and misses. Drop third strike. He's going to try and run, but he won't get there in time. So there's one away for Corey Ginsberg, the senior. And none on. Ball to start the at-bat for Ginsberg. And he swings and hits one towards second base. Can't make the grab. It'll be a base hit for Ginsberg after it got over Blancato and had to go to Troy Knaus. And now Giantonio hurries back from the bullpen because he's on deck. And now it will be Gavin O'Donnell's turn to bat, who is now the pitcher. Started the game at third base, hits one high and foul. The 0-1 to O'Donnell. Hit fair this time towards center. Catch made by Knaus, and Ginsberg will get back in time. 2 out. And now it will be Giantonio. Ground ball getting through for Giantonio into left. A base hit for the junior to advance Ginsberg to second and bring up Jake Szabo. Runner in scoring position. Hill's trying to get back to that 5-run lead they had until the top of the third. We'll see if Szabo can drive in a run. Curveball dropped. A won't go. 1-0. That one nearly in there. But I believe it's a 2-0 count. One outside. Lefkowitz will be next to bat if he does get the chance, as he was the one officially to make the sub for Napolitano. It's a walk for Cone to load the bases. And now Lefkowitz, in what the stat books say is his varsity debut, comes up to bat in a huge position to give Hill some extra runs. Up by 4 with the bases loaded and 2 away in the bottom of the third. Here's the pitch to Lefkowitz. It's in there for strike 1. Ground ball for Lefkowitz. It's a base hit. He'll drive in. Giantonio and Ginsberg. So a 2 RBI single for Noah Lefkowitz with 2 away. And don't worry about that siren. It's not about us. Here's Kyle Wankus. 2 out and runners on first and second. That's Dean Lauricella, who pinch ran for Jake Szabo as Wankus takes ball 1. Second pitch to Wank. Little low. And they're going to say he got hit. That will be the ruling. Bases loaded once again now for Kyle Marquez. And it looks like Coach Andy Escala of Tenafly coming to the mound to talk with Sam Cohn. We'll take a break. Cohn will stay on as Hills maintains a 7-1 lead, but the bases are loaded. There is 2 outs. It's Lauricella at third, Lefkowitz at second, and Wankus at first. Kyle Marquise is at the plate. Ground ball. Will it get through? It's picked up by the shortstop. Throw to first. In time. So we end the 3rd inning. Some added on Hills runs to make it a 6-run lead for the Broncos. 7-1 our score. Before we get back underway, might as well let you know what's going on next week. A short week for us as spring break approaches, and unfortunately I have to be somewhere. Monday, softball will get their first game of the season here on PH Athletics as they take on Mawa. Tuesday, the first boys lax game of the season live at 4:15 as they take on Dwight Englewood. 1 out here for O'Donnell to Blackford. And then Wednesday, we'll be back out here for the league opener at home for Pascack Hills baseball as they take on Riverdale. Some other things happening in the world of Hills sports. On Wednesday, last time you saw us, girls lacrosse with a big win over Dwight Englewood, 14-5 in their season opener. Astrid Veloso leading the team, 4 goals, 3 assists. Emily Driver with 3 goals and 1 assist, and the senior Sloane Irizarry. So we got a ground ball to Marquise, who puts 2 away. Sloane Irizarry, the senior, with 3 goals as well. And Asia Crandall, the first start of a season that will see her as the number 1 choice in net for Pascack Hills with 13 saves, letting up 5 goals against. Boys tennis, their second loss of the year, unfortunately, 4-1 to Riverdale. Their only winners in the doubles matches and in the overall matches, Abhinav Gothaman paired with Zach Slater. Baseball, as we said, going 0-2. They are 0-2 right now after a 12-2 loss to St. Joe's. Kyle Marquise and Gavin O'Donnell both going 1 for 2. O'Donnell did have a double, and Blackford, the loser on the mound in that one, as we get a 0-1 count here. And then softball on Wednesday with an 8-6 loss at home to Holy Angels, their first of the season. Amelia Alvarez, a sophomore, going 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. A great performance from the young girl. Christine Diaz, 2 for 4 with 2 RBIs as well. And Taylor Pollock, unfortunately, picking up the loss. We get a high fly ball here. And the catch made by Cho on the edge. A 1-2-3 inning to get us to the middle of the 4th for O'Donnell. And when we come back, we'll go over what happened yesterday in Hills Sports. 2 wins. We'll get that in a moment. Welcome back to Montvale. Bottom of the 4th getting started here. Hills up 7-1. Let's keep you up to date with what's going on in Hills Sports. Yesterday, as it looks like Gavin O'Donnell takes ball 1 here. Yesterday, 2 big wins for Pascack Hills. In softball, a league win, 9-0 at Westwood to give them their 2nd win overall on the year and their 1st in the league. Taylor Pollock with a great performance as we get a high fly ball but catchable, and it is caught by the right fielder Jared Hollander. Taylor Pollock, as we said, with a 3-hit complete game shutout. A great performance from her, and she was aided with some great performances at the plate. Senior Riley Sneath going 2 for 3 with 1 ribby. And the sophomore, again, Amelia Alvarez, bursting onto the scene this week, going 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs and 1 home run as well. A great performance in the past 2 games for the sophomore Alvarez. And boys tennis also at Westwood picking up a league win, 3-2, their first of the season. As we get an inside ball, no, a strike here. With Jake Polsky and Carmelo Ambrosio winning their singles matches. And in the doubles match, Jared Friend and Kieran Dewan won theirs. Today, along with this baseball game against Tenafly, girls golf going up against Northern Valley Old Japan. And tomorrow in Hill Sports, some big events happening. Our spring track team with an invitational event at Ridgewood. Baseball taking on Passaic Valley here in the Tom Caccelli Classic in the morning. Boys lacrosse also here taking on Riverdale, and girls lacrosse at Northern Valley Demarest. Unfortunately, there's this thing called the ACT, and I'm taking it tomorrow, which hampers our ability to bring you that coverage. The count is 2-1. And it looks like this is Blackford at the plate. Nice line drive. It will drop a base hit. Picked up by Kogan. And Blackford is on with a one-out single to bring up Ginsburg. So Corey Ginsburg, the designated hitter, at the plate now with Anthony Blackford on first base. And Ginsburg swings at the first pitch. It's another fly ball, but this one caught by Kogan. And Blackford will return to first. 2 out. And now it'll be Gavin O'Donnell, who we originally thought led off the inning, but no, it was instead Emerson Cho. And now here's O'Donnell at the plate for real this time. And O'Donnell swings at the first pitch and has a base hit into right. Blackford gets to second, and O'Donnell at first. And now it'll be Giantonio to try and bring Blackford in and make this a 7-run game. Ground ball down the third base line and foul. Ground ball, this one fair, and getting through. Blackford's being waved home, and he'll get there in time as Knaus does not handle it. He tries to throw O'Donnell out at third, but he's safe. Blackford scores, and it's an RBI double for John Giantonio. Runners at second and third now with Giantonio at second, O'Donnell at third, and a mound conference, and it looks like it may be the end of the road for Sam Cone. We'll see who comes in for the Tenafly Tigers to replace their starter. The replacement for Sam Cone is Alex Klein, who wears number 9. We're in the bottom of the fourth still. There's a man on second and a man on third for Pascack Hills, 2 away. And the Broncos lead Tenafly 8-1. First pitch for Klein is a strike to Jake Szabo. Second pitch, a ball. And that one in the dirt for Klein, 2-1. So the 2-1 to the catcher Szabo. curveball high. Oh, a high fly ball for Zabo. It's a little too high, and the catch will be made by Kogan. And that will send Tenafly back to the dugout to end the fourth inning. Score 8-1. Start of the fifth inning in Montvale this afternoon with Pascack Hills Baseball taking on Tenafly. Another mound change for Hills after 2 innings of Joe Napolitano and 2 innings of Gavin O'Donnell. Another junior has come on, John Giantonio, and his first pitch is a ball. Meaning there's been some more changes to the fielders for Hills. Jake Zabo is still the catcher. Anthony Blackford is still at first. Emerson Cho still at second. Kyle Wankus back to shortstop where he started, and Gavin O'Donnell from the mound to third where he started this game. In the outfield, Kyle Marquise moves back to left. Center stays Eddie Mulligan, and replacing Giantonio in right is Noah Lefkowitz. Foul ball, 1-1. That one a little low for Giantonio, and we have a 2-1 count. That one in there, strike 3. We lost track of the count and we apologize, but Giantonio with his first varsity strikeout. One away. Giantonio deals in the dirt. Ground ball towards Blackford. He'll pick it up and have a brisk walk over to first to put 2 away. Two up, 2 down for Giantonio in the top of the 5th. First pitch in there for strike 1. That one a little low. One and one. That one on the low edge, but a strike, 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3, 1-2-3 inning on debut for John Giantonio on the mound. 8-1 at the middle of the 5th. Bottom 5th, a foul ball high to get us back underway. Alex Klein still the pitcher for Tenafly. And the batter for Hills is Noah Lefkowitz. And quickly behind in the count, 0-2 for Lefkowitz, the senior. And he was hit. So Lefkowitz will get on base. He'll head to first. And up comes Kyle Wenkus once again. Out one a strike on Wenkus, dealt by Alex Klein, number 9. And Wenkus spins away from that one, 1-1. He batted over 500 last year at a 567 average. This year so far, 286. He's 2 for 7. And it looks like we have a 2-1 count. That one will spin away from. Runner going. Wenkus hits one high and foul. We have a full count now. High fly ball once again. They're scrambling for it in the infield. Knaus can't get there. Lefkowitz was waiting for it to drop and could not get to second in time. Will be a base hit for Wenkus. So there's one out and still a man on first. And up comes Kyle Marquise. That's a strike, but Wenkus is safe. Wenkus going again. Quick throw to third. Over. Wenkus is going to come home. And he'll make it. 9-1 now the score. And I believe we have a 1-1 count. That one outside, 2-1. Ground ball from Marquise towards second. And the play made in time by Blancato. 2 away for Emerson Show. And none on. That one in there. We have an 0-1 count now. And that one bouncing. Runners probably would have advanced if there were any. 1-1. Ground ball once again. This one towards short. And the play made by Raman Mitta over to the first baseman, Dylan Powell Miller. That sends us to the end of the fifth, a 9-1 Pascack Hills lead over the Tenafly Tigers. Back in Montvale, top of the sixth, just underway here. John Giantonio with a strike to start things off. And that one just a bit outside, so 1-1. Well, as we said, for Tenafly, they started the year with a 2-game series against Teaneck. On Monday, they had a 10-0 loss at the Highwaymen. Then on Wednesday, they rebounded and took a 5-1 win at home. A 9-16 record last year, only had one win in their league, the Big North National. And this year they look to be improving. But today will be a setback. It looks like 1-2, now the count. Giantonio deals high. And Raman Mitta nearly had to, well, he did have to dodge. So our count 2-2. Ground ball down the first base line. Blackford comes over. Cho makes the throw to AB, and there's one away. So now it's Dylan Powell Miller. And he'll take ball one. Ground ball once again picked up by Cho. Same thing as last time, 2 away. And now the cleanup hitter, Troy Knaus, with not much to clean up. Strike one from Giantonio. And he'll get strike two as well. And that one inside to Knaus. That one also a little inside, and Knaus had to take some evasive maneuvers. And he just fouled that one off. So it's a 2-2 count. And that one just low. Wankus was ready to come in, but he'll have to wait. 3-2 count. John Giantonio on the mound. Troy Knaus at the plate. Here's the 3-2. Swung on and missed. Perhaps the final hitting frame of the game for Pascack Hills coming up. Back in Montvale, this is Anthony Blackford at the plate. Bottom of the 6th beginning. First pitch is a strike. Second pitch fouled off. So 0-2 for AB here. Curveball high. Ground ball, fair. Nearly at the wall and right. A base hit for Anthony Blackford. And up comes Corey Ginsberg. That one a little high for ball one. Second one in there, 1-1. That one way high, 2-1. The 2-1 to Ginsberg. High fly ball. Catchable for Kogan, but foul. 2-2. And that one nearly in the dirt. Tough catch having to be made by Chase Bloom. We have a full count here for Ginsberg. Blackford at first, none out. Ground ball, foul. And that one inside ball 4. There are runners on first and second for Hills now with none out and Gavin O'Donnell coming to the plate. That one outside for ball 1. Ground ball picked up at second. They're going to try and turn 2. They'll get 1 for Ginsberg, but they won't be able to get O'Donnell. And so now there are runners on the corners with 1 away. And up comes John Giantonio. High curve, ball 1. Another high ball. And Giantonio swings and misses for strike 1. The 2-1. High fly ball over here. Goodbye. Right in front of us. We're going to take a quick break. Sorry for the discontinuity. We had to take a break because Troy Knaus, who you saw leap right in front of the camera, was down with a little injury, but thankfully for Tenafly and for all of us, he's been able to make his way back to the dugout. It will be a walk-off home run for John Giantonio, and Pascack Hills Baseball will get their first win of the season by mercy in 6 innings over Tenafly. Final score, 12-1 for the Broncos over the Tenafly Tigers. We'd like to thank everybody for joining us, all the nice people from Tenafly and from Pascack Hills, and for all of you watching. This is Matthew Merlino. So long from Montvale. We are back next Monday with our first softball game of the year. Tuesday is our first boys lax game of the year, and our next baseball game is Wednesday here against Riverdale. Thanks for joining us. Have a great weekend. We will see you on Monday. Here with John G. after a great performance, first varsity hit, first varsity home run, first varsity pitching experience, and you walk it off. How does it feel?
Yeah, it feels great. I mean, have all the guys behind me. I had trust, I had confidence when I was throwing, and couldn't do it any better.
You come back from 2 tough losses to get a big win here, and hopefully it'll continue throughout the season. Congrats.
Thank you, man.
I'll see you throughout.
I'll see you.
And we'll see you later here on PH Athletics.
See ya.
Thank you for watching this presentation of PH Athletics. For more information, head to hills.pascack.org/athletics.